Hi guys, I'm Daddy Freeze. Somebody said they just post my video finish. They just post my video for where? Waiting I do again. Somebody said they just post my video finish. Ebu Chase say that hand no they pain you. As long as your own brain no they pain you, my hand too no they pain me. Where they post my video? Waiting they say I do. For TikTok. Waiting they talk say I do. Pencil don't finish who? For where? TikTok. Can you guys hear me? Wait till they say I do for TikTok. They fear. I know they fear anybody. I did think of whether I want to respond. First of all, the guy we carry and come here. Someone say you they call pencil. Someone said first of all go and see the video. Now the video they try watch. I don't see what's in the talk there. Okay. I don't know what's in do network. Now now very fine, now very funny comedy now. Now this one is say make I come dey beef. Now so now for start problem with me and pencil. Make I go there go laugh. I go even repost am for my page sef. I dey repost am now sef. Those of you wey never see am, una go see am for my page now. Now people they come say, you see, let me tell you what I've learned with Nigerians. You like to stare problem wey no dey. You like to stir problem wey no dey. Pencil don. I dey wait for that guy make he comment, make I block am. That guy wey talk this thing, I dey wait make he talk again. Make I just start today with say I wan block person wey no get sense. It's all fun and games. In this our industry, you are allowed to satire. Only satire. At pencil, I go even at himself. And a promo for him show. I dey wait make that person talk again. If you know say na your mama born you, and no be say your mama go carry your belle come from shoemaker place where she go sew her shoe. Talk again. I dey find you wake on here. It just shows how jobless you are. This just as in, where is he? As in jokes. Don't I make jokes about other people? Because I wonder that Pencil is one of the few comedians that I'm following and is following me back. Please, if you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen or double click the screen. I won't even post himself. And I go even advertise the show self. I must watch this show. Send me ticket to. I must watch this show. Send me ticket to. Straight up. And I go even go the show self. I go just beg and say make you no use me crack joke for stage. I don't post them, I don't repost them now. Because you see what people are looking for is they are looking for how to cause trouble. They are looking for how to cause trouble. Trouble sweet them past fight. Trouble sweet them past fight. As in, anyway, what did I come here to do today? I came here to talk about the hardship in Nigeria. I did not come to use this opportunity to bash the government. Even because my take on the government is one government that came into power 2 months ago cannot be responsible for all the catastrophic events that have been happening in Nigeria up until now. So, of course, it's also the government's fault at the end of the day, because we've had a leadership crisis from 1960 up until now. We have allowed ethnic and religious sentiments to be fanned. As in, they buy one girl, Deborah, be waiting be her name, on top religious comment, and government no go carry everybody there. So may even explain. Till today, they no see the people we carry them. We have tolerated, these things should have been put aside. I told my father this when I was a kid, when I was 18 years old, when the military was in power. I said if I ever became a military president or a head of state of this country, the first thing I will ban is religion. And as much as I can, I will ban state of origin. If they born you for Anambra, you are from Anambra. If they born you for Rivers, you are from Rivers. If Abacha started it in the 90s, by now, state of origin would have eroded. By now, state of origin would have eroded if Abacha had pushed this narrative 30, 20 years ago when they had the power. If they had behaved like the Chinese government, you do anything you see, at that time military get power. You do anyhow you see anyhow. Nobody's allowed to have any religion in Nigeria again. Because you see, religious sentiments are used to fuel the disharmony in this country. The moment you grind that to a stop, or you grind it to a minimum, religion go become like Igbo. People go they hide. Nobody go get mind again to talk religion for public. It go be like Igbo. People go they hide be inside bush. They do am. You won't go pray like this. You go just tell person like this. Say, go me. And I'm telling you, I believe that God Himself will appreciate such an act, because religion has not brought harmony in Nigeria. No harmony. Because you see, this freedom of religion, even Christianity, forget Christianity, Islam. You see Pentecostal pastor, they shade Sele. Sele, they fire and back. That means there will have not been any free nation. There will have been no need for the free nation. The free nation was birthed because there was a need for it. It's like, who remembers pager? You buy a little thing like this, you clip it on your waist. Then I want to page Made Man Yo. I call the paging company and tell them to drop a message and call me back. Then the paging company will just page Made Man Yo. Beep, 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 and he will see it. The moment text message came on phones, that thing died. Just by the natural death, pager. Within 2 years, pager had been phased out. The moment, so the reason why people had pagers was because the mobile communications were lacking. High neck has been a while. The moment, and I'm saying this same thing about religion. If there had been a total ban in religion, maybe by the time democracy came, but you see, the problem is they should have maintained, because once democracy came, people rise again. Hey, want to pray. Religion has done Nigeria no good. Nigeria, with all our praying, with all our churches, with all our religious centers and crusades, Nigeria is on a steady decline. The Bible in Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10, if you read verse 11 and 12, it says, your land will be a delightful land. There's no part of Nigeria that is called a delightful land. And why am I saying this? Because you see, right now, Nigeria has devolved. I was reading the comments on Twitter from the guy who owns Iroko TV. Excuse me. And he said something. He said, Nigeria looks like a zombie land. You don't know what it is, man. It is sad. It is sad. And in this same economy, our senators are getting holiday allowance. Holiday allowance for senators, according to the Nigerian system, is legal. It's not stealing. It's just insensitive. It is just insensitive. Dollar right now is 902, I heard. Yesterday they were quoting 880 something. It's scary. It's scary right now. I don't know what's wrong with this mic. It's falling down. Maybe I should bend the. Maybe I should hold it like this. All right. So the thing just seems to keep falling, but to crumble the shirt. Anyway, I don't. As long as you guys get a good audio. Someone says you told us to give Tinubu time. There is nobody that can solve Nigeria's problem right now. There's nobody that can solve Nigeria's problem right now. Not Tinubu, not Obi, not Atiku. We are coming. What's the food? Okay, I'm coming to eat there. You see, what you didn't understand is there's nothing Tinubu did that he did not need to do. Nigeria don't spoil. It just be like, say you buy Tokumbo motor. You buy them cheap. And then you expect magic. I've been saying that Nigeria is broke for a very long time. Nigeria is both broke and overpopulated. Someone says I can solve Nigeria's problem. Everybody is saying that. You see, my argument is not that Tinubu is not working or Tinubu is... My argument is the insensitivity at this stage. That is what the people... You see, you understand that these people are suffering. Even though the Senate has been given this allowance, it is their right, it is constitution. They should not collect it. That's what I'm talking about. It is like they've applied for salary increase. They have applied for salary increase. Maybe they applied for it 4 years ago or 3 years ago. They finally got it this year. What those senators should have done is, we want our salary increase that has come. We have collected, they first collect the money. Okay, we have collected this money. We want to pay it into the maybe pensions account for pensioners who have not been paid. So all the senators will collect that pensioners account and they all pay that money back to the people. You see, it might look like a small thing, but it is going to motivate the people. Because if you have a pensioner at home, you have an old mother or an old father or a grandmother who has not been paid for 3 months. If your grandmother says, our senators, they collected it, it's their right to collect it. No, but I will never argue that. What did the senators do with it? No, they have the right to collect it. It is what they do with it that is the matter in this situation. We are giving you Tinu Soft says, waiting pencil G talk not true. Make I just block you since you've decided that as your papa no get head, you to your life to no go get head. Tinu Soft, she they see person with daft. My problem with Nigerians is, that is why I never talk about politics. Politics does not pay. They will not, I'm not going to get extra gifts on the day I'm talking about politics. It's not like when we are gisting. Do you know? What was I saying? Nigerians don't like to hear the truth. Tinubu did exactly. The only place I can fault Tinubu now is probably the decision he's taking on the war. But even then, it's a matter of opinion. I would not have wanted to support the West to go to war. But the problem is, we need Western facilities. You know, it's that, like I said, I can't fault him. You guys want to sit down here and you want me to sit down here and say it is Tinubu's fault that the dollar is high. What were you people selling to bring? Do you know how countries keep their currency value? Do you know how countries keep their currency value? By exporting. What is Nigeria exporting that the dollar will come down? Someone said, why is it that previous government is always better than the new one? That's a very stupid thing to suggest. The previous government looked better because it borrowed you people to, it borrowed money that your children will not be able to pay back. This man came in and said, you know what? I'm not going to fund this. Let's stop it now. But you have to deal with the hardship. My problem, oil, really. How much oil? Have you sat down to check the quota of oil that Nigeria is exporting? Have you sat down to check? We can barely even meet the target they gave us. Someone said Jonathan was the best. As far as I'm concerned, in my humble opinion, it was the worst. The best was Obasanjo. The best was Obasanjo because he made Nigeria debt-free. But he also failed to remove the subsidy. Cocoa, when last, how much? Nigeria that is importing palm oil. Nigeria that has started importing, what's this other thing called? Gari. In my humble opinion, you can argue it anywhere, Obasanjo was the best so far. But still boiling down to sentiments and emotions, we could not have kept Obasanjo for a third term. Which I wish he did have a third term. I wouldn't say Jonathan was the very worst. But you see, a lot of Nigeria's money was stolen during his regime. Not by him, but we know we still have those cases. Those cases are still opened. You need to understand that running Nigeria is not like running a poultry at the back of your house. Running Nigeria is a very delicate thing. Here's my thing. My message is not that the senators getting allowance is bad. No. Those senators need to come up and say, with our allowance of 100 million naira, we want to pay it into Nigerian pensions accounts. Let this money be used to take care of some of the pensioners. That's all the people want to hear. Tinubu's government is not worse than Buhari's government or Jonathan's government. Tinubu's government inherited the problems that those ones created. You need to understand it. There's no money Nigeria has somewhere. It's not like Tinubu came in with his father's money to come and solve Nigeria's problem. He is going to use whatever is on the ground. As a matter of fact, I really pity him. I will not lie to you. I pity him. Right now, if they beg me to run to be Nigeria's president, I will never agree. If they said they will pay me $10 million a year for 4 years, so that when I resign as president after 4 years, I'll have $40 million, I will never agree. If Tinubu sleeps 3 hours a night, he should clap for himself any night that he sleeps 3 hours. He should clap for himself like this. With the problem on the ground. That man cannot sleep. Some nights he will sleep 30 minutes. Some nights he will sleep 45 minutes. Some nights he will sleep 1 hour, 10 minutes. That's so. That man, that's. You people sit down and you think Nigeria is easy to run. You just sit there, you press a button. Someone said, good luck. You see, Buhari, as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to say anything about him because APC is still in power, so I'll just pass. But Buhari did Nigeria a very big let me just keep quiet. But what I'm saying at the end of the day is, it's like, imagine all your neighbors are going through poverty. Then you buy the latest Range Rover. There is a way you will bring that Range Rover into that compound and your neighbors will not fight with you. It depends on how you handle them. You know, say you don't buy Range Rover. You know, say one of your neighbors speaking, no, if you go school, you go just calmly just call the neighbor aside, say, how much be the school fees? Oh, 100K. Take. So by the time they see the Range Rover, they will rejoice with you. Even though there will always be those feelings of jealousy. Inside this regime, how is this person able to buy a Range Rover? Blah, 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 blah. But you see, when you are not carrying the Range Rover and you are driving to the neighborhood and splashing water on everybody, that is what I need to say right now. Let me tell you, if the people turn on the government, like happened in Niger, the people, when they are moving, they don't have sense. They think like a crowd. Anybody driving Hilux, na government official. Anybody driving Prado, na government official. They go begin to attack anybody where they see. Even their neighbors who have nothing to do with government. It get the way you go live your life now. They go believe, say, government, you are part of the government. You are. How many people do you want to explain to that you don't have anything with the government? Mob mentality, God bless you. And that mob mentality is excruciatingly strong. Somebody said, Junior Young, saying that JJ was Nigeria's worst because money was stolen during his tenure is too daft. Your father at home is daft. Your mother will open leg for your papa is equally daft. You where they born, you be daft pro max. Collect your rapture. Drop your comment. If you have a comment, drop your comment and move. Move. Keep it moving. I do not share your opinion. This is what I feel. Blah, 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 blah. What is so sure? What is dabi kelebeton tu sinugota? Àwọn kelebeton man kita mama wo nu gota báyìí bó ṣe rí nìyẹn má rí kíní ọ̀hún. Ó rí bí èébì adìẹ. So here is my message to our leaders. Here's our message to our leaders. Someone said JJ is the most educated Nigerian president. Tinubu is educated though. And American education though. So someone said Tinubu is the first Nigerian president to graduate from an American university. Absolutely. So you saying Jonathan was more educated? It's a matter of opinion. Someone said JJ had PhD and he never had certificate problem. About American BSc and Nigerian PhD. Carry the two, go find work. Just try them. Carry American BSc and Niger PhD. Carry and go meet any multinational company. When you finish, we'll have that conversation again. When you finish, we'll have that conversation again. Then you are comparing accounting to zoology. I don't talk anything, I don't quarrel with anybody, but just try am, make you see as they be. Don't want to say even Ghana BSc, as in Nigeria PhD. Nigeria PhD to America BSc. Someone say PhD if you do better during interview. Me and you know now. We know. So anyway, like I said, I'm not everybody here has the right to pick their opinions. Just be polite about your opinion. What I was trying to say, and you people never allow me to talk. Someone says zoology is not easy or intense studying. Greetings, Ikiri. Yes, zoology, yeah, but I think accounting is more appropriate. And a degree in accounting in Nigeria is more appropriate than it is a degree in zoology. But like Nnamdi Kanu said, it's a zoo. So you are right. Zoology PhD for person who want run zoo, it's important. Zoology PhD is actually. I take my Jonathan is actually for Nigeria situation. If Nigeria is the proverbial zoo that Nnamdi Kanu has been talking about, then a degree in zoology, a PhD in zoology will solve Nigeria's problem. But sadly, it didn't. So we still move. Someone say if you study for PhD, Baba, I know if you study them. That's why I say zoology PhD. Now be the book where we talk about. If they give me appointment as chairman of council, I will never hold a political office in this country. Any day I hold it, dig out this video and curse me, all of you. Shake me for me. Any day I hold by political office, I mean like president, governor. If they call me, say make I can't contribute to government, I could contribute my quota. But that I will be president or governor or minister, those kind of high ranking. If they say make I be media advisor, why not? But president, vice president, governor, deputy governor, never. I don't get the power. So, here's my advice. I noticed that my last video I did, whether or not my video Tinubu listened to or they had something similar in the pipeline, I noticed they brought a young girl from University of Ibadan to be part of the tax reform committee. I also noticed that Tinubu addressed the people and they're trying to regularly talk to the people, which communication is very important. It's one thing the last government, if I were to score Buhari's government for communication, I will give them 1/20. Somebody said you are selling your market. No, I never start to sell my market. Let me sell my market now, since you reminded me that I should sell my market. Please, if you are watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Double click the screen. I'm looking for 50 money guns. Oh yeah, let's make it happen. Double click the screen if you're watching on TikTok. I'm looking for my number 1 gifter and my number 2 gifter. Who's going to be my number 1 gifter? Lucy 019. That's my number 1 gifter. Big shout out to Lucy. Big shout out to Lucy. Amazing shout out to Lucy. Number 2 gifter is Din. D-I-N. Oh yeah. Somebody say Otumba Jayoba say freeze, the international guy man. Hello, Otumba Jayola, son of your father that is a very local guy boy. If I be guy man on the international level, your papa na street guy boy. We they do Yahoo. Your papa they do graduate. You know, even graduate reach for one and I graduate your papa they do. Gerard Chow Shidanu, international guy man, but Bentley guy man. My word day. Please double click the screen if you're watching me on TikTok. Double click the screen. I'm looking for my number 1 and my number 2 gifter. I'm looking for my number 1 and my number 2. They'll tell you to behave yourself, and I'm not going to hear word. You're not going to hear word. Double click my screen. Follow my number 1 gifter. Davy, almost somebody don't buy money gun. Big shout out. Dave 7. God bless you, Dave. God bless you, Dave. Stay in your lane. Say hi to me. Buy 2 money guns. Make I greet you well. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDY FREEZE. Bottom left hand corner, you will see how to buy my stars. Go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze. Bottom left hand corner, you'll see how to buy my stars. Dave is my number 1 gifter. Big shout out to him. If you're watching on YouTube people, how are you doing? How are you doing? YouTube, where my super chat, super stickers, and super likes. Someone said the government is incentive for giving politicians a raise. If you have heard about Akpabio's speech from yesterday talking about monies paid to the account for vacation, there's nothing wrong with them paying money to the account for vacation. It is constitutional. There's nothing they will do that is unconstitutional. My problem is the optics. What the senators should have done with Akpabio is, we received this money, it is our entitlement, but we want to relinquish it to pensioners. So we received 300 million or 200 million or 150 million for our holiday allowance. We will not go on holiday this year because Nigeria is hard. Instead, let us give the money to pensioners. Let's see if some people's pensions will be paid. That's all. Finish. Case closed. Someone said that aspect of the constitution should be scrapped. Yes, but you're not going to be scrapped in, they are going to argue up, argue down. Babajide Afolabi. Can I join and discuss about Niger situation and geopolitical implications? Yes, but you have to join on Instagram. So there's nothing wrong with them receiving holiday allowance. The problem is, what are they doing with the holiday allowance? How they are sacrificing. There are little things that they can do. We are all entitled to new cars. But you know what? Instead of the new cars, we will use our old cars. It's our entitlement. This is you see, people want to see the spirit of sacrifice from our leaders. We are entitled to new cars. But you know what? We will manage the old cars of the previous government, because this government is not making money. Only us cannot be enjoying. I'm telling you, people go, they waka for road, they feel happy. People go, they waka for road, they buy gala, pure water, they waka, they chop, they happy. The optics. The money budgeted for our cars is 1 billion. Okay. For changing our cars, 1 billion or 2 billion, however it is. The money for our holiday allowance, this is it. We will manage only our salaries. All of them come together. We will manage only our salaries. What we are now going to do is, we will take this money and pay into pension accounts. Why did I say pension? Because there are so many old people who are not receiving their gratuity. Or we'll pay half into pensions account and half into civil servants account, so civil servants can have a raise. Or the civil servants that the government is owing, they can pay them. It will work magic, as a miracle. People go, they suffer, they smile. They will feel like their government loves them. You see, when I don't mess up, say, okay, they refurbish Senate House. Is in order. You cannot touch the money. The money that is meant to refurbish Senate House, you cannot touch it. It is going to go through due process, contractor will come. But the money that they give each of you as your holiday allowance, that one you can touch, you can sacrifice it for the people. That's my conversation today. That is my conversation. Use it to create food banks. But you see, my problem with Nigerians is you will create food banks. When we go and feed the poor, some children will join the line, collect, run to their house, drop it, and go and join the line again. You can't. Nigerians have Nigerian mentality from childhood. So if you create a food bank, the people that are running the food bank will steal some of the money. The people that you are supposed to be feeding, the ones who sharp past the other ones, go collect all the food. Some no go still see collect. Somebody, Babs Opsy says, they are insulting you on TikTok. Nobody is insulting me on TikTok. Babs Opsy, thank you very much. Maybe you should go home and feed your old father. Babae tebingpa. Join your father in the bush. Maybe you will catch bush rats where your papa go chop this night. Instead of make you day my life, you day fruitless for my life. Block it. Babs Opsy. Jakro lori life me weary. Let me tell you another thing they could have done. I remember in Cool FM when there was a recession and our guys came and said, you know what? We are paying too much monthly as salary. We cannot continue paying what we are paying. So it's either one of two things. Everybody takes a pay cut or we sack 2 people. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. They came to us. You know what we did? All of us came together and said, you know what? Instead of them to sack anybody, we will all take a pay cut. Because that person they will sack could be you. If you don't know how to behave, I will block you. That one is not, and I'll never, listen now, if I've blocked you final. Don't tell me I blocked you, I should open, no. Go and open a new Instagram account, finish. So, we took a pay cut. My salary then was about 366,000 naira back then. This was 2016. They took a 100K cut from my salary. Just so that they will not need to sack anybody. So that is what the Senate, the ministers, the governors, that's what they need to do right now. They don't need to touch their state allocation, their personal salaries. Let them come. Let even 20 of them come, or 10 of them that have the goodwill. We, the governors of so and so state, we hereby relinquish 50%. Let me tell you, if ministers bring not 50%, 30% of their salaries. 30%. Everybody brings 30% of their salaries. Senators, 30 across. Then governors, we are going to use old. Maybe the governor will just change 1 car, 1 Hilux. All the other cars will be old. They buy 1 brand new car, 1 Hilux for a governor. So that he has his entourage and his bulletproof car. Finish. Gather these monies together and pay pensioners. Create food banks. The people will see. The people would see. Now that Akpabio mentioned it on TV, we will be notified of their holiday allowance. As they don't mention them, No problem. They will carry that holiday allowance, pay inside pension account. Let pensioners have something to eat. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. So those are my thoughts. Let me sell my own market. Someone say, how can Nigeria cope like this till 4 years? There's nothing like, my people is, why do you choose to be so ignorant? What is it that the government has done that they should not have done? Even this paying of holiday allowance is constitutional. It's not new. They didn't just start it. Those are my thoughts. Someone says, until you start attacking these politicians, Nigeria won't be better again. Stop talking like a big malu. You want to start attacking politicians. You feel that's the solution to your problem. And then you create an uproar and scatter the whole country. And then the little food you have that you are still eating, you will not have food to eat again. As in, how do you think? Do you think they are enjoying in Niger now? Do you think they are okay? Niger never know waiting they put their hand inside though. Niger, it never appeared to waiting they do Niger. They read them, they read about themselves for online. They never even know waiting they happen to them. You want to join them inside that. Make una they think. This matter is a matter of appealing and negotiating. That is what we need to do. Somebody said, keep defending bad. Upper Opera Town soon. Me say they see person name. Oruko Okponu. Okponu njoruko Okponu. Abugije. Nfenu hora. Someone said, why do we need 40? These are, you see, all these things to be worked on. You cannot start sacking ministers overnight. No. So those are my thoughts. Let me bring anybody who has something nice and positive to say and who can advise us in the right regard. Let me hear from one or two people. Oh yeah. If you are watching on TikTok, double click the screen. Look at this one. Let me pin him. He's saying name now Mike Lumi. Your name should be changed to Mike Dummy. As a matter of fact, you bring to life, you animate the highest possible level of human intellectual deficiency. Ó dàbí péèlì agbépo. Ó mọ tán pè ní péèlì agbépo. The bucket that Agbepo used to go and pack po. That's how you look. Just click on his account. Oh, wo ku. It a hawk wo. Fine, wo. Come and buy wo. Just click on the guy account. Where are you now, Weary? Abirun, Adete. If you're watching on TikTok, double click the screen. I'm done. People just don't want to have sense. Who's my number one gifter? Big shout out to my number one gifter. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Where are you from?
Faith Empire City.
Where?
Faith Empire City, the place you were supposed to perform last time, our last show.
Oh. So what are your thoughts?
Thoughts about what? Because thoughts create. I've always wanted to talk to you, Daddy Freeze. I love you a lot. I listen to you a lot. You have studied a lot. and I appreciate you a lot. But you know that thought is a creation. What we are lacking in Africa is because we don't have somebody who we are creating with these whiteboards. The history of humanity is big. Nobody can govern Nigeria. Whoever governed Nigeria governed the whole world. And that was the same war we are fighting now in Nigeria, between the war that happened between the Igbo guys and the Hausa. It's in the same war. At the end, they're going to use a nuclear nuke, and they're going to call it a genocide in Rwanda.
We need to see your face. We can't see your face, bro. Freddy. We're not seeing face. The guy won't hide him face. I'm even tired. You see, I get tired when I try to connect with people on a cellular. And let me just close the live. I'll come back and we'll do some gossip later on. We'll do some relationship thing later on in the evening. I think beyond this, I cannot do anything. I think
Freeze.
Hi sis, how you doing?
Hello, Daddy Freeze.
How are you, my darling sister?
I'm very well, thank you.
So what are your thoughts? I think I'm just gonna have you after that. I'll just let it go.
I came late to the. I joined the live very late.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I didn't get the gist properly. I think you're talking about the politicians.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't actually get the full gist because I joined it very late.
The conversation is about the senators who were going to receive holiday allowance.
That is, when you want to talk
I wasn't
about
expecting to join this live.
You sent a request.
Yes. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
I was trying to listen to the lady. I was hoping that you were explaining the topic of the day.
Okay. Anyway, not a problem, bro. God bless you. We'll talk later.
I don't know. I don't know if you remember. I was the guy that.
All right. We have this lady here, Florence. Oh yeah, Florence. Over to you. Let's hear from you. And we'll just.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, Florence.
Hello,
how
Daddy.
you doing?
How are you doing? Well, so I was actually the one on YouTube, Efrata Catfish Farm, talking about how I had to close my business, my fish farm in Benin, you know. But anyway,
okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
First of all, let me say, my sister or Modonna. We're gonna come later on today and we have a conversation about relationships and I like to pick your brain there. But for now, let us just focus on this lady who has something to say, and then we'll come back later and we'll have a proper conversation. Okay, my sister?
Right, no worries at all.
All right, my sister.
Later.
All right.
All right, thank you.
So, first of all,
okay.
Let me hear you comment, and then let's talk about why you had to close your catfish business.
All right. Well, so first and foremost, I live in the US. I've been here for about 25 years. And so I wanted to start a business back home, you know, just because I love the country and I wanted to contribute in my own way. I'm a business-minded person. So 4 or 5 years ago, I started my fish farm. You know, I would call it like big, semi-big business. It was quite a bit of money to join. But over the years with insecurity, let me tell you where it all started from. So when the price of the dollar started increasing, it affected the price of fish feed. Now, the catfish business is very capital intensive. We're not talking about small money here. And it's supposed to be very profitable, you understand? So usually we would flip between foreign feed and local feed to get our fishes and the table size up to 2.5 kg fish, size fish. And the profit wasn't bad at all. It was good. It gave me reasons to come home and sell my fishes and come back to my job over the years. But then in the last year and a half, with insecurity, all the farmers, being driven from their farmlands, insecurity, and then the cost of the dollar, the cost of it just went astronomically high. It wasn't making sense anymore. But because I had a passion for it, I needed a reason to continue to hold on to it. Not because that's where I'm a professional in the US, but because I really wanted to hold on to something back home. However, within the last two harvests, one in December, and the last one was just about 3 weeks or a month ago, it just didn't make sense anymore. It just wasn't worth my time. Because in some cases, I couldn't even get my money back. You understand? But the people I'm using, it had nothing to do. I have cameras in my farm. I'm able to monitor sales when it's going on. So it's not about people stealing from me. There might be a bit of that, but that wasn't really what shut the business down. Why? Because the location where I have my farm in Benin, you have over 1,000 farmers. And I'll tell you this, that in the last year, people have reduced their stock. People who used to stock 15,000 fingerlings reduced it to 7. And then people who used to stock 2,000 reduced it to 500. And a lot of people just closed up their farms and just moved away. What I'm saying is this. Is the economy is really has gone to it's nothing to write home about. If you're not in the food business,
be careful with your words. Be careful with your words. Okay. Don't use anything that is. But continue. I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. All right. But I'm saying that everybody keeps saying do something back home, contribute to whatever, but it's just not working out. The economy has really, really gone to the other side, has flipped over. And, with this, the situation with the currency that happened early in the year, insecurity, just name it, everything that has to go wrong has gone wrong. And so I had no choice but to shut down. I just had to. I feel badly for the people I actually employed. You understand? Some were on full-time basis, some on part-time, some on as-needed basis. But I had to shut down. It didn't make sense because you don't run business on emotions. You understand? I'm not going to say I'm running a business, just to... Yeah, but sure, those people are still people I'm going to send money to here and there. But at the end of the day, they do not own jobs anymore. Now they don't join unemployment market. So it's very painful to me. And I like to talk to whoever wants to listen that something has to give. And I don't know what it is, but we can't continue like this. The situation has gotten really bad. And then talking about the senators, if you want me to talk about the senators and all that. Yeah. So you see, let me tell you, leadership, this change has to start from leadership. Somewhere, somehow. If you're asking the Nigerian people to sacrifice, right, then we have to see what sacrifice you are also making. It should come from the top. And then that way, anything you do, every little effort you make, the people will feel like you're working, you're in this together, you're a team. The leaders are sacrificing and the small people are sacrificing. But don't ask me to sacrifice when I don't see the kind of sacrifice you are, you are doing or you're putting up on your own, and then to make it worse, he's talking about vacation money. And I just came from vacation. I went on vacation to Mexico. I was on a cruise. I just got back just on Monday, which was just 2 days ago. And I went back to work yesterday. You understand? But it's our leaders they're talking from one part of their mouth and doing something with the other part. They have to put their mouth where the money is. It's I might be here. I've been here for 25 years. I'm telling you, I just turned 50 last year. I do want to come home. I'm blessed here. My kids are all grown. We do want to come back home. We're very interested in what happens back home. We invest back home, but we're not happy. And I'll tell you this. So when I went to Mexico, right, it was for an in-law's 60th birthday. And everybody there, about 25 of us, most of them are approaching retirement age. They couldn't even enjoy their vacation because everybody's talking about Nigeria. That's how passionate people are about once. If everything was good, if things were fine, we would come here and make money, but we'd come back home and just, set up factories, set up businesses and employ people and come back home with our talents and skills and all that stuff. It's really sad because I'll tell you this. In the last 25, 27 years or so, I just kept hoping that, it's going to get better. Things are going to get better. Things are going to improve. Unfortunately, that's not the case. And it breaks my heart. Yeah.
Now, somebody said something. He said, sell the fish, sell the pond and the land, cut your losses. She's
Well,
not suffering. She can still travel to Mexico for holiday. What about that man that was hired as a laborer who
yeah,
is relying on that fish pond for his monthly salary?
exactly.
What about the woman who is going to, whose job it is to take the fish to the market to sell? She has no work. She
I'll
can
even
cut her
tell you.
losses. For some
Exactly.
people, they can't cut the losses because all they have is losses.
A lot of people back home borrow monies from association, from loan sharks or whatever to run their businesses. Well, so in situations like, if assuming now that I lost money, right? If the money I lost was borrowed money, how am I supposed to pay back? How am I supposed to pay back a loan shark or whatever meeting or people in December when you come to the fishing community, you see people rushing to sell their fish so they could pay back the loans because it extends for a year or whatever, so that they can give them back for the next harvest. What happens to those people? I mean, you understand? It's not about me. It's about the people who live there. It's about the young boys who can't afford to go to school in the fishing communities. Well, guess how they feed their families, how they help their parents. They have wheelbarrows they rent. And for everybody that comes to buy fish, they'll charge you 100 naira to move your fish from the pond to where you parked your car. And, this boy, I'm talking about boys as young as maybe 12 to 17 or 18. That's what they do. And after school, they come to do these little jobs. They'll end up with maybe 1,000 naira to give their moms, to buy them dinner or whatever the case may be. What about the people who dig the ponds? We have people who dig ponds. We have people who come and help you net your ponds. We have people who, come and help you sort your fish when you're selling, So a whole economy, a whole community, the whole nation. These are small businesses. That's what keeps business here in America. That's what keeps the economy going. Small businesses. And then when you have people like me, now that I've had this experience, when I come back and I tell people in the diaspora, keep your money, instead where you carry your money, go there and lose. Keep your money. How does that help anybody? All right. So the impact is deeper than what you know. I have people now who are saying, Madam, no forget us, I beg, no forget us. And then you understand, but then nobody wants to keep giving people money. They want to work. They're not saying they don't want to work. But then the business has to close because we can't continue to lose.
We can absolutely not continue
still
to lose.
I mean, I'm sorry for rent. I'm renting out my ponds. I'm not selling. The farm is still going to be there. If I see anybody that wants to rent, fine. But it's not profitable anymore. So many people have left the business. I'm telling you, a lot. But we kept holding on.
And I'm never going to blame you for that decision, because at the stage at which we're in right now, Nigeria needs some harsh realities.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
We need to face some very harsh realities. And this is definitely top of the list.
That's correct. And this is the same for every other business out there that is free. You understand? This is the same for every other business. This is the transportation business. When you talk to people who own transport company, my friend, she's actually, she owns buses, for transportation. They can't even fuel the car. They can't fuel it. It's not so sustainable. The business is not bringing in money, so they'll pack them. Maybe out of 5 cars, you can only use 1. And it's people are trekking. People are waking up. I'm being told early in the morning to walk to. And have you heard about a lot of people who are now sleeping in churches across the city? Any church that's close to their place of work, they go to, please let me just sleep here. I'll sleep here from Monday to Friday, so I could go back home to be with my family during the weekend, because they can't afford. The situation is it's gotten really bad, and I feel so. I don't know. We can't save the world, definitely not, but. The government came, and then the policies just, it's not as if the people haven't gone through so much already. But this recent policies just threw everyone off, and we didn't see it coming. And we as business people, I'm speaking from the point of, I don't live there. I don't feel the pain of the people there. But I own a business there. I didn't want to close up my business. I started a business in the first place because I wanted to.
How much did you invest in this fish pond?
I would say about 25 million.
Now, how much did you make back from your 25 million investment?
It's been within the last 3.5 to 4 years. You know, it was profitable at first. It was profitable enough for me to want to continue. Let's just say.
But did you make your money back, or you were beginning to make your money back?
I was beginning to make my money back when things started flipping to the other side. You understand? But I didn't lose my capital, though. I did not.
Okay.
You know, mostly not. I wouldn't say I did. I didn't. You know, the last sale I made, I was short by just about 200,000, which is really nothing. I'm very lucky. Other people weren't that lucky.
What kind of fish did you have?
Catfish.
Only catfish?
Only catfish, yeah.
So how many ponds did you have?
10. I'm talking about earthen ponds, like, the ones they dig in the earth, huge, 30 by 50 feet. I had 10 of that, and every fish pond holds about, let me say, 3 tons, which is like 3,000. So, catfish business is quite capital intensive, but very profitable also if everything works out well. Good business. I mean, if I retire tomorrow, definitely I would come and expand that, and I would run it myself. But I'm just saying, under the present economic situation.
What was your biggest hurdle? The biggest hurdle you had to cross?
For me, I would say it's still the cost of feed. We use foreign feed mostly.
Why do you use foreign feed, not local feed? What happened to setting up local plants for something as minor as catfish feed?
Okay, well, we do have plants too, but then the thing is, when you start off at first, you use foreign feeds because it's the formula is completely, it has all the nutrients in the foreign feeds. Well, it's solid. It's good for the growth of the fish. But then when they get to like 2 months, then you start, interchanging with local feed, which we have a local plant. Actually, on my catfish, I have a YouTube channel for catfish business. I did everything. I have them all, on my YouTube channel. We also have local feeds. But the thing is, when insecurity in the north, it affected the sales of
Where was your pond located?
In Benin.
So how does insecurity in the north affect you in Benin?
Where do we get our soya from? Where do we get our millet from? Where do we get all these raw materials that we use for the local feed? We have about 12 different, farm products or farm produce that we use for fish feed, local fish feed, from soya to millet to corn, even flour, and then we have eggs, because it has to be a balanced diet, fats, carbs, protein, and then, we have the amino acids and, the other nutrients that you add to it, very rich, that you have to use to formulate. Otherwise, the fishes won't grow well. That's how you have people who run losses in their businesses because they were using substandard feed. Yeah, you won't believe it. So that's where the problem started from. And then, of course, the dollar increasing also because it affects everything, whether you believe it or not. But yeah, insecurity is a major issue, I'll tell you that. Insecurity is a major issue. The farmers, so all those farmers that are now in, IDP camps across Nigeria. So, families who can no longer farm because of insecurity, it's detrimental to the economy. It's a huge deal. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
If you were to advise the government right now, because farming, let me tell you, if we had no cars, no electricity, if we had no airports or airplanes, but we had food, we'll be okay.
Definitely.
Food and water are what are unnegotiable.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to advise the government now, what advice will you give the government?
Well, so this is my personal opinion, and this is what I would say that might help a lot. So now we have Flour Mills of Nigeria. We have all these companies who are into Nigerian local feed production for fish farmers. There should be some kind of regulation. A company can't just come tomorrow and say, well, we're going to increase the price of feed by every bag, for example, 400 naira, just like that, and nobody questions them. So the company takes, listen to this, the company takes 400 naira from every bag, and then the middleman does his own, and then by the time he gets to the farmer, perhaps about 650 for one bag. Then how am I supposed to make profit? There has to be some kind of regulation, some kind of middleman some representation or strong farmers representation. I would say, look, you have to meet farmers halfway. You can't just increase the price like that. I think that would help a lot. Also, I would say, I'm not an expert, but I would say this issue of insecurity. I know the government is doing all they can, but there has to be some, okay, fine. If people can, for example, if people can't go back to their homes, right? Somewhere in Borno State or Adamawa State, then they're in IDP camps. Okay, we have a lot of land, forest reservations, right? Maybe you should go ahead with the tractors, and make these people who are farmers, who have the experience, farm in these new locations where at least there's some, they can continue their farming work or businesses, I believe. I mean, I know there are short-term solutions and long-term solutions, but I'm just saying what comes to the top of my head, because at the end of the day, there's nothing anybody can do about the rise of the dollar. I mean, I'm saying for now, but we're thinking that with this free whatever, with the dollars and the new policy, but do you know how much the dollar is to an naira as of today?
900.
It's going to be 1,000 by Christmas, I can assure you, and nothing is going to stop it. So as a fish farmer, I belong to several farming associations across Nigeria, and people are crying. They feel like, how are we going to be able to sustain this? And they have given up. I had to give up. I didn't want to because of pride. I wanted people to continue to say, oh, she owns a fish farm in Nigeria, but past that stage, because I don't want to keep losing money. I'll keep my money in the bank if I know what they can do. But I'm saying that they have, insecurity is number one. We need the products. We will be able to use them if we find them at cheaper rates. But I don't know. It's just.
I'm so sorry, not just for you, but for those who are losing their revenue and their potential revenue, simply because we have a system that doesn't work, and
it doesn't.
You should be the priority of the government. Any government that can cater to the needs of the people, any government that can help the people, be considerate towards the people, that particular government needs to be encouraged. You see, right now, farming is a mainstay of any economy. As they see Canada like that, they farm gone.
Yes. Even
America, they don't joke with farming. They don't joke with farming. You see, and this is why I keep saying we cannot keep fighting the North. Everything comes from the North. Tomato, pepper, onion, beans.
I'm telling you, everything does.
Everything, goat, cow.
The truth is that we can't do it without each other. Now, when we, want to choke each other up and all that, those are just politicians that are just using us. If we understand the power in us being united, right? How the West depends on the East and the East depends on the South, and how we're all intertwined, we're a powerful force. Unfortunately, the politicians have used tribe and religion to divide us.
Which is what I said from the beginning. I said, if I had my way, there will be no religion or tribe in this country. It does done us no favor. No favor. We are not better than countries that don't have a God. We are not better than them.
Yeah. So until that's taken care of, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. And this change has to start from the crèche, the nursery schools, the primary schools. Our children have to be taught that you're Nigerian first before you're Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba.
Now, let me ask you a question. So sorry to interrupt you. I hear that that catfish food that comes from abroad contains a lot of chemicals, and this thereby is transmitted to the people from the catfish, from consuming catfish that are raised with plenty chemicals. What are your thoughts on that?
Is that what people are saying? That, listen, I'll tell you this. People should, people will always have their opinions about stuff like that. But I'll tell you this. If you raise catfish from inception in Nigeria, you get your baby fishes called fingerlings. and you do not use foreign feed, the growth rate will not be good. Now, but we also have people who use, local feed, but they can't afford it. The affordability is the problem here. We're not talking about the toxicity. I know, as far as I know, there is nothing like that. Look, what kind of fruits are we eating these days? There are GMO fruits now. You buy peaches, nectarines, prunes. Now, all of them are GMO. Does that stop us from eating them? Unless you can afford organic. That's, I don't see a place for that. But even if you want to go to local, can you afford it? As a farmer, will you make profit as a farmer at the end of the day? No. You have to use a blend. You have to use a blend of both of them for you to get.
Are there different breeds of catfish, or there's just one breed?
I think 3 of them. There are 3. There's hybrid, there's clarias, and there's one heterobroncos or something like that. If I'm saying
Which
it right.
one is the most profitable to raise?
I think it depends on the region. We have huge fish farmers all across Nigeria, believe it or not. So I think in Benin, Clarias does very well. Somewhere in Ibadan, Ogun State, that axis, oh my God, you should see their hybrid, huge. And then in the north, I think it depends on the region. But at the end of the day, catfish is mostly mud fish. It does very well in the mud. You understand? Even though with the innovative farming right now, people are doing their fish, raising their fishes in tanks and in tarpaulin ponds considerably well. But, catfish is rugged. That's why it's mostly the kind of fish Nigerians are raising, rugged. You can take all this hash, but the hash, when I say hash, I mean, the water temperature has to be at a certain level so that they don't die off and all that. But, those 3 are the ones I'm aware of. There might be more, but those are the popular ones.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. Do take care of yourself and have a really lovely evening. Thanks for sharing with us. We learned a lot today.
Kisses to taste buds.
I would tell her. Bye. And God bless.
Thank you.